communication is the heart of teamwork. It's like the most important thing, in my opinion, in teamwork. And a good team, they are okay and they communicate well and often. And again, they're okay with, with talking to each other, with taking feedback, with being contradicted, because it's okay. Like, even the leader can be contradicted. It's not like everybody should agree. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean that a good communication means everybody agreed. No. Hello everyone, this is Inspired Tuesday number 119. Because our team at ATTAIN Dental Center believes that starting the day motivated and inspired sets up the rest of the day for success. We bring quotes from morning huddles, and it has been so positive to our team that we decided to share it with you and hope to motivate and inspire you as well. Today the topic is improve teamwork. Okay, teamwork is vital at work and outside work, because your family is your team and your friends is another set of team. And at the end of the day, teamwork is all about collaboration and communication. And without that, your team will definitely suffer. So I have in here 3 tips to help our team and you to improve teamwork. I'll talk about 2 tips, bring 1 quote, and then 1 more tip. Enjoy! Tip number 1 is understand the role of a leader. So definitely teamwork, and to improve it starts from the top. If your work does not have a good culture or does not have a good teamwork, it's time for leadership team to act. And when I say like it always starts with the leader, creating culture is not easy, I don't mean only at work, because parents are huge leaders and their family need their guidance. The culture that they create in their own family and the guidance that they give to their kids, their spouse, like whatever is the culture that they believe in, it's very important to start from the top. And it's usually, by example. You cannot expect from anyone, if you're a leader or a parent, what you're not. Usually, if you're asking for work ethics, right? You gotta show this first before you ask. It's the same thing. You cannot say to your kids, okay, you have to be so good in school and not slack in school. You're not missing school when you're missing work all the time. Like, they see, it's like, it's an example that you give to your kids. And the same thing at work. The one thing is that some people may say, okay, I'm at work and I am not the leader, and what do? Definitely. I also worked before in a non-private organization, and which I was not the leader as well, the top leader, because they are the one that created culture. The culture was not very good. However, what you can do, to create a better culture for yourself and your team is, that's true that I was not the top leader creating the whole culture for the company, but I had my own team, which is the assistants, my assistant, they were assisting me. So within my group, I created an environment of trust and whatever I believe is a good leadership. So, whatever is your job, if it's not in the top leadership, create an environment of leadership so you improve teamwork with whatever people that works closer to you. This is how you can improve teamwork, by understanding the role of a leader and acting on it. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is communicate every day, every way. So communication is the heart of teamwork. It's like the most important thing, in my opinion, in teamwork. And a good team, they are okay and they communicate well and often. And again, they're okay with, with talking to each other, with taking feedback, with being contradicted, because it's okay. Like, even the leader can be contradicted. It's not like everybody should agree. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean that a good communication means everybody agreed. No, it means that at the end, we settled, we found a solution to move forward. It's not everybody agreed, it's we moved forward and we settled with whatever idea that we communicated. And a great, way for you to know about communication is, if you're a parent, You know that if you have more than one kid, you know that even if you communicate in one way, you'll have one of the kids totally follow and understand your guidance. The other one may not. It's because each kid, each individual at work and outside work should be communicated in the way that influences them. It's different. Each person have a different style of communication, and a good leader and a good parent understand that, and they act towards that. To use that, it's not like, oh, because I communicate like that, whatever, everybody has to understand. No, there is a method to that, and it's very important to be clear. Because sometimes, okay, you just say something, oh, I communicated. No, if the other person didn't understand and didn't follow and didn't feel your communication, because what is communication? Is a transfer of energy, right? And transfer of emotion. If that person didn't read you, you didn't communicate well. There is a problem right there in communication. So how is it to be clear? And whatever you say, whatever you communicate with your mouth, you should really do it. I'll give an example at work. We have lunchtime. Everybody knows that it's sacred. Any break, if someone is taking a break, they know that I really believe in that, and people should respect that. So at lunchtime, I don't go and ask questions to a team member if I have one. If I do, it's literally an exception. I have to know at that moment, and I apologize, and it's so fast. Because at lunchtime and break time, it's a break time, right? So this is a communication that I have, so everyone else knows to respect lunchtime, because again, communication starts from the top as well. So this is a very important tip. Like communication, you gotta have to master that if you wanna have teamwork. And again, communication doesn't mean everyone agree. It means people settled and they move forward. They understand the message. That's tip number 2.
A quote from Andrew Carnegie: "Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishments toward organizational objectives. It's the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results."
Tip number 3 is establish rules. Okay, when I say the word rules, that may sound not so cool, right? Nobody wants to hear it, but in reality, rules are very important. I'll give in here a few examples so you see how important it is. Where do they have rules with team? In sports. Let's imagine a soccer team, right? And they have this teamwork. If they didn't have rules for the game, and what do? Can you imagine they just kick the ball and everyone do whatever they want? There's no rule for the game. There's no rule for which seats and what is their position in the game. It cannot be like that. It doesn't work. There's not going to be a winning team if they don't have rules and they follow that. Same thing at work, same thing at home, same thing with family. Any teamwork needs to have rules and it needs to be followed, right? But of course, when I say that, sometimes if you see that the rule is not being appropriate and it's not helping the team or it's not good, you can always change it. It doesn't mean you shouldn't have rules. You can change rules, or tweak it every once in a while, but you need to have rules. I'll give an example. Like at work, we have an employee manual that everybody receive as soon as they get there. So it doesn't matter if I hired someone that I know or it's a family, whatever that is, they all go by the rules. It's the same benefit, the same way. If you request a time off, you go through the same process that anybody else do. That creates a better team environment. It's safer, people feel better. And I'll give an example that rule should be followed. And this is why it's so important, teamwork. Like when we had both clinics, we noticed that one of the clinics, they were really strict on their morning huddles, being on time. The other one, a morning huddles is where we get prepared every morning. It's very important for us. It's where we get, that's how even Inspire Tuesday started, is from there. The other clinic, the culture was not there. They would start late or whatever. Then we were like, hey, team, this is the rule of the company. Everybody do the morning huddle because we believe in being prepared. We believe in positivity. Then now, see, because this is the rule in the clinic and the company, it's all followed. It's great. So I hope you guys like the topic and the quote today, and I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a good team environment? Leave me a comment below. Maybe you have a great tip to tell us why is your team, so good, your teamwork so good. Or in the other way, you can also leave us a comment below. And if you have any topic you'd like me to talk about, I've been receiving the DM, and today it's definitely a request. Someone asking about how do I do to improve teamwork, and those are the 3 tips that I found out, from what we learn in our own company and journey. And I hope this is good tips, very valuable. And if you haven't done yet, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our pages on Facebook and Instagram at Icon Dental Center for more Inspired Tuesdays. I'll see you guys next week.